30 days from now, your life could look completely different. Not because of luck, not because of circumstances, because of how you think. Epictetus understood this better than anyone. He was born a slave, beaten, crippled, owned by another human being. He had no control over his circumstances, zero. Yet he became one of the greatest philosophers in history. He taught emperors. His wisdom shaped Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the world. How did a slave transform his life? By mastering his mind. He said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Today, you're going to learn 5 Stoic laws that Epictetus lived by. These aren't complicated theories. They're practical rules you can start applying immediately. If you commit to these 5 laws for the next 30 days, I guarantee your life will transform. You'll be calmer, stronger, more focused, more free. But you have to actually do them, not just know them. Do them. Let's begin. Law 1. Never complain, never explain. This is the first law, and it's the hardest for most people. Epictetus said, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. He also said, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Here's what these mean in practice. Stop complaining about your circumstances, and stop explaining yourself to people. Let's start with complaining. Every time you complain, you're reinforcing victim mentality. You're telling yourself and everyone around you that you're powerless, that life is happening to you, that you have no control, even if the complaint feels justified. Even if you really do have it hard, complaining doesn't help. It drains your energy. It poisons your mindset. It keeps you stuck. Epictetus was a slave. If anyone had the right to complain, it was him. But he didn't. He said, there is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. He couldn't control being a slave, so he didn't waste energy complaining about it. He focused on what he could control, his thoughts, his character, his response. Now, I'm not saying you can't acknowledge difficulties. I'm not saying you pretend everything is perfect, but there's a massive difference between acknowledging a problem and complaining about it. Acknowledging sounds like, this situation is difficult. Here's what I'm going to do about it. Complaining sounds like, this is unfair. Why does this always happen to me? Everything is terrible. See the difference? One is empowering, one is disempowering. Marcus Aurelius wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Complaining is giving away that power. Now, the second part, stop explaining yourself. Why do people constantly explain themselves? Because they need approval. They need others to understand. They need validation. But Epictetus knew something crucial. The people who matter don't need explanations, and the people who need explanations don't matter. When you live according to your values, your life speaks for itself. You don't need to justify your choices to anyone. You make an unconventional decision, you don't owe anyone an explanation. You set a boundary, you don't need to justify it. You pursue a goal others don't understand, let them not understand. Seneca wrote, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. When you crave others' understanding and approval, you're poor. When you're content with your own convictions, you're rich. Here's your 30-day challenge for this law. For the next 30 days, catch yourself every time you're about to complain. Stop. Don't say it. Instead, either say nothing or state a solution. Also, for the next 30 days, resist the urge to explain yourself. When you make a choice, let it stand on its own. Don't over-explain. Don't seek validation. This will be uncomfortable at first. You'll feel the pull to vent, to justify, to get people on your side. Resist it. By day 30, you'll notice something incredible. You'll have more energy, more clarity, more self-respect, because you're no longer leaking power through complaints and explanations. Epictetus said it perfectly. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Not, first explain to everyone what you would be, then complain about why it's hard. Just be it, silently, powerfully. This is the first law. Never complain, never explain. For 30 days, watch how this changes everything. Law 2. Do the hard thing first. Every day, Epictetus believed in discipline above all else. He said, no great thing is created suddenly. But here's what most people miss. Greatness isn't built by doing easy things consistently. It's built by doing hard things consistently. Marcus Aurelius practiced this every morning. He wrote, at dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain of if I'm gonna do what I was born for? He knew that the hard thing, the thing you resist, the thing you want to postpone, that's exactly what you need to do first. Why? Because it's eating at you. It's draining your mental energy all day. And the longer you avoid it, the bigger it becomes in your mind. Here's the law. Every single day, identify the hardest, most important thing you need to do, then do it first, before email, before social media, before anything else. Not the urgent thing, not the easy thing, the hard, thing that actually matters. Maybe it's that difficult conversation you've been avoiding. Maybe it's working on your biggest goal. Maybe it's that workout. Maybe it's facing a fear. Maybe it's making a decision you've been postponing. Whatever it is, do it first. Seneca wrote, "Begin at once to live, not later, not after you've done all the small stuff." Now, when you do the hard thing first, several powerful things happen. First, you prove to yourself that you're capable. Your self-respect grows. Your confidence builds. Second, everything else that day feels easier by comparison. You already did the hardest thing. The rest is downhill. Third, you stop carrying that weight around all day. You know that feeling when you're avoiding something? It's like background noise in your mind, draining your energy. When you do it first thing, that noise stops. Fourth, you build momentum. Success early in the day creates motivation for the rest of the day. Epictetus understood this. He said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." Doing the hard thing first often means disappointing people's expectations. It means saying no to distractions. It means prioritizing what matters over what's comfortable. Let me give you a concrete example. You wake up. You have a big project that terrifies you. You also have 50 small tasks that feel urgent. Most people do the 50 small tasks first. They answer emails. They scroll social media, they organize their desk, they have meetings. By the end of the day, they're exhausted. And the big project, still untouched. The Stoic does the opposite. They ignore everything else. They work on the big project for 2 hours first thing. Then, even if the rest of the day goes sideways, they made real progress on what actually matters. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire. Imagine the number of urgent things demanding his attention. Yet he still found time to write philosophy, to train, to think. How? He prioritized the hard, important work first. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Choosing what to focus on first is power over your mind. Letting urgency dictate your day is giving away that power. Here's your 30-day challenge for this law. Every evening, identify the one hardest, most important thing for tomorrow. Write it down. Every morning, do that thing first, before anything else, even if it's just for 30 minutes. Even if you don't finish it, start with it. Do this for 30 days straight. No exceptions, no excuses. By day 30, you'll have made massive progress on things that matter, and you'll have built a discipline that most people never develop. Epictetus said, "Difficulties show us who we are. The hard thing you avoid every day, that's showing you who you are right now. But when you face it first thing every morning, that's showing you who you're becoming." This is the second law. Do the hard thing first, every single day. For 30 days, watch your life transform. Law 3, respond, don't react. This law alone will save you from 90% of your problems. Epictetus said, "Don't let the force of an impression when it first hits you knock you off your feet. Just say to it, 'Hold on a moment, let me see who you are and what you represent.' Here's what this means. Between something happening and you responding, there's a space. Most people collapse that space. Something happens, they immediately react. No pause, no thought, pure instinct. That's how you say things you regret, do things you regret, ruin relationships, destroy opportunities. The Stoic expands that space. Something happens. Pause, observe, choose the response. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment." Notice he said estimate. You estimate the situation, you judge it. That judgment creates your emotional reaction. But if you pause, before judging, you can choose a better estimate, a wiser judgment, a more useful response. Let me give you examples. Someone cuts you off in traffic. Reactive response? Anger, honking, cursing, letting it ruin your mood. Stoic response? Pause. Maybe they're rushing to the hospital. Maybe they didn't see me. Either way, getting angry doesn't help me. Let it go. You continue your day in peace. Your boss criticizes you in front of others. Reactive response? Defensiveness, embarrassment, resentment. Maybe you argue back. Stoic response? Pause. Is there truth in this criticism? If yes, I can learn from it. If no, his opinion doesn't define me. Either way, responding with dignity serves me better than reacting with emotion. You stay calm and professional. Your partner says something hurtful. Reactive response? You say something hurtful back. The argument escalates. You both say things you don't mean. Stoic response? Pause. They're upset about something. If I react with more hurt, this gets worse. If I respond with curiosity about what's really bothering them, we might actually solve it. You de-escalate instead of escalate. See the pattern? The reactive person is controlled by events. The responsive person controls their response to events. Epictetus said it plainly. Any person capable of angering you becomes your master. When you react without thinking, you're giving others control over your emotional state. When you pause and respond consciously, you keep that control. Here's your practice for the next 30 days. Create a pause ritual. When something triggers you, before you say or do do anything, count to 5 in your head. Just 5 seconds. In those 5 seconds, take a breath. Ask yourself one question. Will my reaction make this better or worse? Then respond based on that answer. This sounds simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Those 5 seconds create space for wisdom instead of impulse. Seneca wrote, "The willing are led by fate, the reluctant dragged." When you react, you're being dragged. When you respond, you're being led. By day 30, this pause will become automatic. You'll find yourself naturally creating space before responding, and that space will save you from so much unnecessary suffering. This is the third law. Always respond, never react. For 30 days, practice the pause. Law 4. Measure your day by what you gave, not what you got. This law will completely shift how you experience life. Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." But it goes deeper than that. True wealth isn't about accumulating, it's about contributing. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The fruit of this life is good character and acts for the common good." Not money, not status, not achievements. Character and contribution. Most people measure their day by what they got. Did I get recognition? Did I get money? Did I get respect? Did I get what I wanted? When you measure your day this way, you're always going to be disappointed because you can't control what you get. Other people decide that. Circumstances decide that. Luck decides that. But you can control what you give. Epictetus taught, "Some things are up to us and some are not up to us. What you receive is not up to you. What you give is completely up to you." Here's the shift. Instead of asking at the end of each day, "What did I get today?" Ask, "What did I give today? Did I give my best effort? Did I give kindness to someone who needed it? Did I give my time to something meaningful? Did I give value to others? Did I give my full presence to the people I was with?" When you measure your day by what you gave, every day can be successful because giving is within your control. Seneca wrote, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." When you focus on giving, you're in the present, you're taking action, you're creating value. When you focus on getting, you're in the future. You're waiting, you're hoping, you're dependent on external outcomes. Let me show you how this changes your experience. You go to work focused on getting. I need to get that promotion. I need to get recognition. I need to get appreciation. You do good work, but your boss doesn't notice. You feel frustrated and unappreciated. You go to work focused on giving. I'm going to give my best work. I'm going to give value to my team. I'm going to give my full effort. You do good work. Your boss doesn't notice, but you still feel satisfied because you gave what you came to give. Same situation, completely different experience. Why? Different measurement. This applies to relationships too. You go into a conversation focused on getting. I need them to understand me. I need them to agree with me. I need them to validate me. The conversation doesn't go how you hoped. You feel disappointed. You go into the same conversation focused on giving. I'm going to give my honest thoughts. I'm going to give them my full attention. I'm going to give respect even if we disagree. Same outcome. But you feel good because you showed up how you wanted to show up. Marcus Aurelius understood this deeply. As emperor, he could have focused entirely on what he could take from his position. Instead, he focused on what he could give to his people. He wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. A privilege, not a transaction, not something owed to you, a gift that you then give forward." Here's your 30-day practice. Every evening, write down 3 things you gave that day. Not what you got, what you gave. Maybe you gave excellent work. Maybe you gave patience to someone difficult. Maybe you gave time to a friend. Maybe you gave honesty when it was hard. Maybe you gave effort toward your goals. Write 3 things every single day. This trains your brain to look for opportunities to give instead of opportunities to get. By day 30, you'll notice something beautiful. You feel more fulfilled, more purposeful, more in control, because you're measuring yourself by what you can control. This is the 4th law. Measure your day by what you gave, not what you got. For 30 days, become a giver. Law 5. Embrace discomfort daily. This is the law that makes everything else possible. Epictetus said, "Difficulties show us who we are." He also said, "If you wish to be a philosopher, prepare yourself from the very beginning to be laughed at, to be mocked." Here's the truth. Comfort is the enemy of growth. When you're comfortable, you're stagnant. When you're uncomfortable, you're expanding. Marcus Aurelius knew this. He was emperor, but he still chose discomfort. He slept in military camps with his soldiers when he could have been in a palace. He practiced philosophy when he could have indulged. He questioned himself when he could have been arrogant. He wrote, "The cucumber is bitter, then throw it out. There are brambles in the path, then go around them. That's all you need to know." But he also wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." He embraced obstacles as training. Seneca took this even further. He was wealthy, but Periodically, he would live like a poor person. He'd sleep on a hard floor, eat simple food, wear rough clothes. Why? To prove to himself that he could handle hardship, to remove the fear of losing his wealth. He wrote, "Set aside a certain number of days during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare," saying to yourself the while, "Is this the condition that I feared? This is the law. Every single day, choose one discomfort, not massive suffering, just something uncomfortable that makes you stronger. Take a cold shower, work out when you don't feel like it, have a difficult conversation, wake up an hour earlier, fast for a meal, sit in silence without your phone. Do the task you've been avoiding. The specific discomfort doesn't matter. What matters is the daily practice of choosing it." Why is this so powerful? First, it builds resilience. Every time you choose discomfort and survive it, you prove to yourself that you're strong, that you can handle hard things. Second, it removes fear. Most fear comes from avoiding discomfort. When you regularly practice discomfort, it loses its power over you. Third, it creates discipline. Discipline is doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. That's exactly what choosing daily discomfort trains. Fourth, it makes involuntary discomfort easier. Life will throw hard things at you. You don't get to choose that. But if you've been training with voluntary discomfort, you're ready. Epictetus put it simply, "No great thing is created suddenly. Greatness is built through daily discomfort, through showing up when you don't feel like it, through doing the hard thing anyway." Here's your 30-day challenge. Every single day, choose one discomfort. Write it down the night before so you can't back out. Day 1 might be a cold shower. Day 2 might be a difficult phone call. Day 3 might be an intense workout. Day 4 might be saying no to something you usually say yes to. Whatever it is, do it every day, no exceptions. By day 30, you'll be a different person, stronger, more confident, more capable, because you've proven to yourself that you can handle discomfort. And when you can handle discomfort, you can handle anything. Epictetus said it best. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When you practice discomfort daily, your reactions improve, because nothing shocks you, nothing breaks you. You're trained. This is the 5th and final law. Embrace discomfort daily. For 30 days, make yourself stronger. Let's review these 5 laws that will transform your life in 30 days. 1. Never complain, never explain. Stop leaking power through complaints and justifications. 2. Do the hard thing first, every day. Build momentum by tackling what matters most. 3. Respond, don't react. Create space between stimulus and response. 4. Measure your day by what you gave, not what you got. Focus on contribution, not accumulation. 5. Embrace discomfort daily. Build strength through voluntary hardship. These aren't complicated, but they're not easy either. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." You now know what to do. The question is, will you do it for 30 days? Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Don't wait. Don't postpone. Start today." Day 1 of 30. 30 days from now, if you commit to these 5 laws, you'll be calmer, stronger, more focused, and more free. But only if you actually do them. Thank you for watching. If you're committed to these 30 days, share this with someone who will hold you accountable. Now go transform your life.